So panel 2, again, we talked about that was the creak, right? That was just like, he's given up, something just happened. Then as we head into panel 3, this is that realization that something just happened. So eyes open, head looks up, more of like a reflex, like, did I just hear that kind of a feeling? So this is really, talked about close up on the eyes, the slightly cocked head with that expression of like, what was that? Right? Like, did I really hear something this time? Because I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
Then,
So one of the, sorry
oh,
to
oh, go
interrupt.
ahead.
So one of the things that I might do is if you have a panel that's very similar to the previous panel, again, if you are able to work digitally, you can just copy and paste and just make those little changes. Like so, in this case, with panel 3, the body may be very much the same, but the head kind of tilts up a little bit.
Mhm.
So any place you can save time for yourself, I always try to do. Just because, as I said earlier, there's so much things you have to focus on. So it's people may go, "Oh, you're not really you're cheating yourself or whatever." But I mean, at the end of the day, if you're on a deadline, you have to do what you can to get something done. As long as it works with your ethics and morals, then go for it, right?
Yeah, and I think that, reusing that in this way makes total sense. Like, why would you redraw it if you're just going to change a portion of it? And because there is very little movement in Sam in this moment, it's that just the slight movement, reusing it makes sense. So after that, we head into panel 4, and this is the door is open a crack by itself. So after all this time, the door has opened. Sam had nothing to do with it. And we see darkness, negative space, no detail, no depth, nothing. This door is to nothingness. And this is sort of that feeling of like, oh my God, what just happened?
So now that I've kind of drawn this panel, I may actually go they're all the same size essentially, but I may actually go because I like the fact that the panel 2 is like a close up. It's like a you would say it's an extreme close up. Panel 3, I'm actually thinking I might make it pull out a little bit more, as if the camera is slowly as this door is slowly opening, that the panel is or our camera view is slowly pulling back, so that way we get a sense of like some time is moving, but not a lot of time.
Uh-huh.
Um, and that's the beauty of this working at this size. It's like, oh, you know what? I changed my mind after doing this next panel. Well, now I'm going to change up the previous panel because it works that way. It just feels like it's a better decision to make. And, thinking about like, there's no dialogue here, but there is a sound effect. And I may actually, well, I'm sorry, there is a little dialogue and panel 3 and 4. But one of the things that might be kind of interesting is to take the sound effect of the creak and
Hmm.
lay it on top of these 3 panels here, right? So
Oh, that's neat.
just think something I thought of at the moment. It wasn't anything I'd thought of before, but it makes it feel like it's connecting that, um, time it's connecting in time that this person is going through, in an interesting way, in a way that makes it feel a little bit kinda scarier, I think, especially if we're gonna see that line where the door is, maybe it's right by their head, and we could even make it so that on that second panel, we don't really see that line. If I zoom in a little bit, you'll see what I'm talking about right here. So I'm gonna be drawing like a
Hmm.
line where the door would open. So we imagine that let's say, then this panel here, we're going to get a little bit more that door. And then here it's for sure we see there's the doors open, there's the doorknob there on the other side right there. Maybe we actually see it like that. So these are all things that you can play around with, and if you look at it and you're like, "That's not really working," you can just erase it really quickly and do a new panel or a new page. That's the beauty of this.
And I think your comment about the camera is such an important one right? Because as much as this is illustrated, you have to think as if a camera were filming something to really get those neat perspectives and the movement in it, and to not think of it as just individual shots, but those camera moves really give you that feeling, especially in this horror style, of what's happening and how he's feeling. So that's a really good point.
Okay, so
Okay.
I'm looking ahead here because there's going to be another uh 4 panels,
Mhm.
5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm thinking with the space I've got, I'm gonna play this out. This may not work, but if it doesn't, then I can. If it doesn't, I can redraw it. Um,
Okay, so we'll
and
keep
we are coming towards the end of the 30 minutes. I mean, I could pause here if we have questions before I get into these
um
panels.
just a couple comments, no questions at the moment.
Okay.
So we can see how many panels we can do in the next couple of minutes. So for panel 5, it's coming up next. This is Sam rising and approaching. Like they can't stop themselves, right? So this is like Sam standing in front of the door as it's slowly creaking open. So again, nothing to do with them, no touching. The door has just done this on its own.
All right. So I want to make sure I can see the door doing that. So I may actually, it feels like it would be a slight, like a bird's eye view. But I may change my mind on that. I may actually make it, who knows, I may flip that and make it like a worm's eye view. I haven't decided, but it just for now, as a placeholder, I want to make it so that the reader can actually have a reference for what's fully happening here.
Mhm. And
And
then next we
then,
go to the door completely open. So Sam is in front and the blackness kind of fills that. The door is fully open now.
yeah, so let me see here. If I were to, so a down shot gives the emotes kind of like you're in a weak position, right?
Mhm.
Something's
Yeah.
looking over your shoulder in a way. And if I were to draw this up, it's more of a power pose. But I think what would it look like if I were to actually have the so that's the we're looking up at Sam and now the door they're in front of the door. So I'm not sure that works. I don't know if that's what are your thoughts? Do you think having it where you're it's like a worm's eye looking up at the door? Because the door now looks a lot bigger in some ways, right?
Yeah, I think that the door looking intimidating is important, right? Because it's basically swallowing Sam.
Mhm.
So I think it's almost like a power shot of the door, um, essentially.
Let's see what it looks like if I were to make it so that we have a down shot to your point. So now it's a much more extreme down shot of
Mhm.
the open door with Sam. This feels a lot more like we're actually even accentuating the size of the door a little bit.
Yeah, and I think
With
that's what we want because the door now feels it was always present, but now it's powerful, right? Like it's now opened and Sam has been minimized
Mhm.
as the door is essentially swallowing them.
Yeah, and I liked when I was drawing the previous one where it almost looked like teeth were coming down, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, that's kind of an interesting thing," because it's all just rendering, right? It could be you have, you're anthropomorphizing the door a bit, right?
Exactly, exactly. We're
So
giving it a personality even though it's done nothing but exist. But Sam's
wow.
given it a personality and we're just showing